Imagine yourself at 80 years old. You are looking back at this very moment. Do you want to remember the thousands of hours you spent in a digital coma, watching videos you don't remember and reading comments from people you don't know? Or do you want to remember the moments you stood up, faced the resistance, and built something? Every hour you spend being lazy is an hour you have stolen from your future children, your future self, and your legacy. You are trading your potential for a pixelated ghost of a life. The strongest version of you is demanding that you respect the time you have left. Time is the only thing you can never earn back. You are a bridge between the past and the future. Do not let the bridge rot. To move from the couch to the arena, you must adopt a code. Without a code, you are just a leaf in the wind. Never negotiate with yourself. If you set a goal, it is a contract signed in blood. To break it is to lose your honor. The no phone morning. No digital input for the first hour of the day. You are the commander of your morning, not the algorithm. The physical reset. If you feel stuck, move your body. 10 push-ups, a walk, or even just standing up straight. Physiology drives psychology. Zero exceptions. Discipline is not a part-time job. It is a full-time commitment to excellence. The clock is ticking. You have exactly one life to build. You can spend it being a nice guy who everyone liked but no one remembers. Or you can be the person who had the courage to say no to the comfort of the world so they could say yes to greatness. The choice is yours. The blueprint is in your hands. Now go and build.
Laziness is not who you are. It is what you have allowed yourself to become. Most people use the word lazy as a shield to protect themselves from the pain of high expectations. By calling yourself lazy, you lower the bar for your own performance, making your failures feel inevitable rather than avoidable. The strongest version of you understands that laziness is a symptom of a lack of direction. A ship without a destination doesn't move not because it is lazy, but because the engines have no reason to fire. You aren't lacking energy, you are lacking a mission that is powerful enough to pull you out of bed. When you have no why, your body defaults to the lowest energy state possible. To stop being lazy, you must stop identifying with the label and start identifying with the mission. Chapter 2. The dopamine debt and the cheap high. We live in the most overstimulated era in human history. You are currently fighting a war against multi-billion-dollar algorithms designed to keep you paralyzed. Every scroll, every notification, and every bite of processed sugar is a microdose of dopamine that costs you nothing. When you flood your brain with cheap stimulation, you create a dopamine debt. Your brain's baseline for excitement becomes so high that the real world, the world of work, study, and physical effort, feels gray and unbearable. This is why you feel lazy when you look at a textbook or a treadmill. Your brain is asking, why should I climb a mountain for a reward when I can get the same feeling by moving my thumb an inch? You must enter a state of digital and sensory fasting. You must learn to be bored again so that the ordinary act of doing becomes extraordinary. The greatest lie laziness tells you is that you will feel like doing the work tomorrow. You are waiting for a surge of motivation that is a biological fantasy. Motivation is a chemical accident. Discipline is a conscious choice. The elite do not wait for the spark. They show up in the dark and strike the flint until the fire starts. If you wait until you feel like it, you are handing the steering wheel of your life over to your hormones. The strongest version of you knows that action creates motivation, not the other way around. The engine doesn't start because it's warm, it gets warm because it's started. You don't need to be inspired to move, you just need to move. The hardest part of any task is the transition from not doing to doing. Your brain perceives the entire project as a massive immovable wall. To scale this wall, you must shrink it until it is a pebble. Use the 5-second rule. The moment you have an impulse to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill the idea. Stand up, walk to the desk, open the laptop. Once the momentum of the start is triggered, the physiological resistance vanishes. Your brain hates starting, but it loves finishing. Trick your brain into the start and the rest of the body will follow. Laziness is simply the inability to overcome the first 5 seconds of friction.
Growth only happens in the presence of friction. If you always take the easy path, your character muscles will atrophy. Laziness is what happens when your comfort zone becomes your coffin. To become a person of action, you must seek out friction on purpose. This is why the elite choose the hard path. They take the cold shower, They lift the heavy weight. They do the deep work when they are tired, not because they have to, but because they are practicing for the moments when life gets genuinely difficult. When you have already mastered the art of being uncomfortable, the disasters of life lose their power over you. You are a forged blade. The heat of the world only makes you sharper. Seek the friction. Embrace the burn. Look at your environment. If you are surrounded by people who celebrate mediocrity and complain about their bad luck, you are in a stagnation trap. You're all silently agreeing not to excel so that no one feels guilty. The world is divided into two groups, the participants and the spectators. When you are lazy, you're a spectator. You're paying for the success of others with the currency of your time. The people you watch on your screen are getting rich because you are staying still. They are disciplined while you are distracted. Use that realization to fuel your movement. Turn off the broadcast and start your own life. You are a creator by nature. To be lazy is to deny your biological purpose. Stop saying, "I am a procrastinator." Your subconscious mind is always listening, and it loves to prove you right. Every time you speak those words, you are reinforcing a neural pathway that makes laziness your default setting. Change your internal dialogue to the identity of action. I am the type of person who gets things done early. I am a person who values time. Even if it feels like a lie at first, perform the role. Act as if you are the most disciplined person you know. How would that person put down their phone? How would they walk to the gym? Eventually, the performance becomes the reality. You don't do discipline, you are discipline. If you are trying to be productive in a space designed for leisure, you have already lost. Your environment is a silent coach that is constantly whispering instructions to your brain. If your phone is on the table, it is telling you to scroll. If your bed is unmade, it is telling you to sleep. Create a productivity forge, a space where the only option is to work. Put the phone in another room, out of sight, out of mind. Your focus is a finite resource. Do not waste it fighting temptations that you could simply remove. When you remove the distractions, the work becomes the only relief from boredom. Control your geography, and you will control your destiny.